Customer service jobs are pretty bad. Honestly, I feel like it's some of the worst jobs you can possibly get. You know, besides jobs that endanger your life or being Nikado Avocado's personal trainer. To be honest, it might just be a personal matter with me because I hate dealing with people. We live in some of the most narcissistic society here in the US, which is just a tool most people use to get their way. So when it comes to customer service, they always say the customer is always right, which is such a terrible thing to say because no, 90% of the time the customer isn't right. Like, you're the employee, you know this place better than they do. So if a woman is yelling at me that her shirt isn't 100% cotton and I say we don't have it and she says yes you do, what am I supposed to say? Oh, silly me, yeah, let me go get it? It doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, most of the time your pay is dog shit. The average minimum wage job in the US is $14 an hour, which if you work an 8-hour shift is like $112 a day. And if you live anywhere in California, that is not going to pay your rent very well. Which, like, I'm sure you could, but you still have a lot of expenses to take care of. So even if you are just slaving away at this job, you're still going to be living pretty close to paycheck. And don't even get me started on restaurant gigs. If you were working as a server in some type of restaurant, you must be some sort of thrill seeker or the biggest people person in the entire world. Because I can't think of a single person that would want to subject themselves to that kind of torment. It's like some of the most stressful shit. And the chances of being treated like crap by a customer in restaurants is higher than most. Not to mention your boss pays you with the pennies he found in the cracks of his sofa. You get paid literally nothing and are forced to kiss the ass of these random people just so you can get your $3 tip and afford your cardboard box on the side of a Target. Obviously, I'm exaggerating for the video, but not really. I've worked quite a few customer service jobs, including being a server and being a retail worker, and they've all been terrible experiences. I once got a job working front desk at a men's hair salon, and I got this job specifically because I wanted to work with men because I felt they were easier to deal with than women hair salons. Maybe this is just the one that I worked at, but at the hair salon that I went to that was mostly female, I got a lot of drama and shit thrown in my face, so I didn't want to deal with that. And I was like, great, men. They're super lax about their hair. They're not going to be super uptight about shit. I was completely wrong. They're all assholes. We had a policy where we couldn't take people if they were more than 8 minutes late because we are on a tight schedule. And I never wanted to deal with the ramifications of them being late, so I would always remind them every time that they cannot be late. I always like to cover my ass in those kind of situations. So we had one guy coming and he was about 2 minutes late, so I give him a call and he's like, I'm on my way. And so I go, okay. Another 3 minutes go by and I call him again and he's like, yeah, I'm almost there. Starting to get a little nervous now. My spidey senses are tingling. Something's wrong. I think around another minute passes. He's got 1 more minute to get here and I'm starting to visibly sweat now. Another 3 minutes passes and this man walks through the door on his phone. And the minute I open my mouth, before I can even say a word, he shushes me and continues to speak on his phone. And I'm just sitting there stunned. I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna let this happen. So then he puts his phone on his chest and goes, give me a minute, and leaves the hair salon. He's now standing in front of the building on his phone, and at this point, he's like 11 minutes late. So I'm just thinking to myself, this guy cannot be serious. He cannot think that we're still gonna cut his hair. And lo and behold, another 2 minutes passes, puts his phone down, saunters into the hair salon with a big smile on his face, ready to get his haircut. I tell this man that we can't give him a haircut because he's late. And he just explodes at me, literally yelling at me for no reason. And I just have to sit there in silence, nodding my head, going, yes, sir, sorry, we can't help. Because it was policy that we could not talk back to the customers, even if they were being unreasonable. Which is the stupidest rule ever. Like, I'm getting verbally abused and they're telling me not to defend myself. Anyway, I ended up quitting that job a couple months later, so we're all good. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly rant about my hatred for customer service jobs. It's just a mix of so many things. But the worst part about it is they're the most accessible job possible. And for some people, it may be the only possible job. When I moved to LA and started PAing on movie sets, I realized how much better it was than customer service. On average, they pay around $250 a day, which is still almost barely enough to pay my rent and all utilities. All I know is that if I can help it, I would never like to work in one again. They're terrible in my opinion. If you're working a customer service job, comment down below. I would love to hear about your experience, and I'll see you guys next time.